Coming up on SBU TV, we'll update you on the rape case that happened on St. Bonaventure's campus and tell you what major award the Buzz is nominated for. Hello and welcome to SBU TV. I'm Shannon Shepherd.
And I'm Megan Sudore. The third-degree rape case that happened on St. Bonaventure's campus in January 2010 is finally going to trial. Former St. Bonaventure student William Markey is charged with third-degree rape. He was back in court this week. The motions SBU TV reported on in December have concluded and a trial date was set for May 23rd. The trial will be in County Court in Olean with Judge Michael Neno presiding. Over winter break, the St. Bonaventure student radio station, WSBU, suffered a hard drive crash, wiping out all of the station's music. Despite the large setback, 88.3 has been nominated for an MTV Woodie Award.
In 2008, WSBU The Buzz, St. Bonaventure University's college-run radio station, was rated #1 by the Princeton Review. But when staff members returned to the station this January to begin the spring semester, they discovered a malfunction that erased all the music.
We believe what happened was that the power had gone out over break, and so we think it just kind of fried the hard drive. With that happening, we lost all of our music files. So basically we had just a blank computer that we had to restart with.
But despite WSBU's setback, station manager Kyle Zappia and production manager Danny Bush have found a new, quick, and easy way to upload music into the server. And the bounce back doesn't just stop there. WSBU has been nominated for an MTV Woodie Award for Best College Radio Station, and they've already made it to the second round.
The MTV Woodie Award is given out to the school who has the most votes, and anyone can vote as many times as they'd like, so it essentially all comes down to school spirit.
Yesterday, we found out at 2 p.m. that we had made it to the second round, and immediately, after all the problems we've had, it just feels great to kind of get this recognition from someone like MTVU.
Even though The Buzz has had its share of misfortunes over the past few months, it still hasn't stopped 88.3 FM from being a big-time contender. For SBU TV, I'm Joe Landers.
Listeners at 88.3 can go to www.radiowoodie.ratemyprofessors.com to vote.
Is an iPhone, iPad, BlackBerry, or laptop controlling your life? Chances are these gadgets are getting more attention than your significant other. Leah Murphy has the story.
Too often, people find themselves with little time to concentrate and reflect on their work or to be truly present with family and friends because of these. There are so many gadgets to keep us all connected.
I got a laptop, BlackBerry, iPod, all sorts of applications on the BlackBerry.
I have 4 computers, including a netbook or notebook rather, netbook, whatever you call them. 3 Macs and 3 Apple and 1 PC. I have iTouch. I have a iPad.
My cell phone, obviously, my laptop, and my iPod.
Oh, I have a Kindle.
What would happen if you didn't have your cell phone or laptop for a day?
If you took away that, I might be fired, actually, because I would have no way to communicate. If something really important came across my way that had to be dealt with immediately, I didn't have a BlackBerry, I didn't have a laptop, I might not be here tomorrow.
If you took away one of my Macs, I would really be at a loss. I'm working on a 3rd book, and I'm writing it on Mac, backing it up with flash drives every day.
I feel like it would be like my lifeline is taken away.
Whether you like it or not, we are entering a world that is very dependent on technology. Most schools and businesses are getting more and more technology savvy.
We actually just came from a social media summit yesterday, and we talked about especially Twitter and how Twitter is evolving. And for us in this office, we use Twitter to post game stories and to live tweet during games. We're able to tie everything in. We're able to incorporate our YouTube channel with it by posting a video. We're able to incorporate a link to the Go Bonnies page for a recap. So we hit 3 different mediums, 3 different technological outlets that didn't exist 10 years ago.
In the time that I've been here, the university has advanced in its communication system, warning system to students, email system, email warnings. The T1 line, high-speed internet is faster than ever was. The technology in the School of Journalism has advanced from tape machines to digital equipment, from analog to digital.
Some schools have been given grants for iPads, which is a huge thing. Some schools want to eventually turn over to using just iPads instead of textbooks.
We rely on our smartphones and laptops all the time. We use them to get in contact with people, check social websites like Facebook and Twitter, the weather, news, scores, and so much more. But what about a time when we didn't have things like these?
Well, what we did was use landlines for phones. As a journalist, I used typewriter, a manual typewriter. I had electric later on, but I never liked it as much as the manual. The dean and I, Dean Capola and I, both loved to pound away at Royal office models. We just banged it. In fact, I think we ruined a few at the Buffalo News just by hitting those keys hard.
Even in a technology-advanced world, we need to know when to shut off our gadgets for the sake of our family and friends and our own health. For SBU TV, I'm Leah Murphy.
According to a recent survey, the emotional health of college freshmen is at its lowest level in 25 years. SBU TV's Christy Andrzejewski has the details.
The annual survey involves more than 200,000 incoming full-time freshmen. This year's survey reported 52% of students rated their emotional health as above average, down almost 4% from the year before.
There's more pressure on students than when I went to undergraduate school.
Psychologist Dr. Roger Keener says one of the pressures students now are dealing with is the financial aspect of college.
In terms of parents having to take out loans and them having to take out loans. And like you said, there's less opportunity for, part-time jobs.
Keener says with the recent economic downturn in mind, he's found some St. Bonaventure students asking themselves one important question.
I'm making this investment, is this investment going to pay off? That type of stuff. And I think there's always that thought in the back of your mind, is what you're doing going to lead to some kind of future payoff?
Though many first-year students rated their emotional health as below average, reports of their academic achievement and drive to succeed have reached an all-time.
66% of students surveyed said they expect at least a B average, compared to the 27% in 1971 when the question was first asked.
They're still trying to push on because in the back of their mind, they're seeing, that the most important thing is success.
And students are looking toward academics to get that sense of accomplishment.
Here's where I'm feeling like I can be successful, so I'm going to put all my energy into this.
Keener says programs at St. Bonaventure like Residence Life, the Counseling Center, and First Year Experience are designed to assist freshmen with the pressures they're facing.
We can't just bring these students in and not have services for them.
For SBU TV, I'm Christy Andrzejewski.
Up next on SBU TV, we'll see what New York State Governor Andrew Cuomo is proposing for the state budget.
So, son, what'd you do in school today?
Well, first I went to spelling, and then that was over. And then study hall, and then that was over. And then it was lunchtime, so I went to lunch. And then I ate it, and then lunchtime.
The less art
then
kids
we had
get,
recess, and then that
the
was
more it
over,
shows.
And then school was over, and now I'm here.
Are yours getting enough?
Sounds like yesterday.
Art. Ask for more.
New York State Governor Andrew Cuomo proposed his new budget last week. The governor slashed the current budget by 2.7% with cuts across the board. Not all New Yorkers are happy with the Cuomo proposals, but some students on the SBU campus are supporting the governor's decision. SBU TV's Lauren Adams reports.
This year's proposed budget was met by cheers and jeers from New Yorkers. The proposed plan cuts funding to libraries by 10% and public school aid by 2.7%, potentially causing those agencies to lay off around 10,000 state workers. But some agencies won't see a reduction in funding. Cuomo proposes to maintain state aid to the New York Environmental Protection Fund.
I feel more support from my government knowing that they know that this is an important issue.
Coleman is in charge of Tread Lightly, an on-campus organization that's devoted to living a sustainable lifestyle. This year, they're dedicated to seeing fewer of these at St. Bonaventure.
Reduce the amount of bottled water sold on campus and increase awareness about the world water crisis.
Cuomo's proposal keeps funding for the Environmental Protection Fund stable at $134 million. It also spares staff cuts to the Department of Environmental Conservation and the Office of Parks and Recreation and Historic Preservation. It also maintained funding for clean energy programs. According to Coleman, this decision protects the people as much as their surroundings.
It's not just the environment, it's not just a tree or some animals, it's the people that's being affected as well.
Coleman says Governor Cuomo's stance on environmental protection is a step in the right direction for politicians who should do more to emphasize the importance of going green.
I don't think it's a fad. I think this is where we're all going to be going, and everyone needs to start, to start living like a more sustainable life.
For SBU TV, I'm Lauren Adams.
If Cuomo's budget is passed, it will go into effect on April 1st. What will 50 college students at St. Bonaventure do when the mood strikes them and the cameras are rolling? Erin Lowry reports.
Scenes like this one in a Belgian train station may be confusing at first, but they're a new type of performance known as a flash mob.
I think I would describe it as a seemingly spontaneous public dance, I suppose, but it's obviously not spontaneous.
Thanks to some St. Bonaventure marketing and communications interns, train stations and beaches won't be the only location for a flash mob.
Somehow the conversation led to, well, geez, why don't we do one of these flash mobs that is all the rage, gets a lot of viral attention in social media, and seems like a really fun thing to do, and something that a college campus is really just the premier kind of venue for that sort of a thing.
In early February, an email went out to the St. Bonaventure community calling for all actors, singers, and dancers to audition for the flash mob.
I love Glee, and it said it was Glee inspired, and I love to sing and do all of that, so I definitely gave it some thought and then went for it.
About 30 people auditioned for the flash mob.
We just went into a room, and then I just sang like a few measures of the song, and that was it.
As far as knowing what the song is,
I have an idea, but it's a secret.
For SBU TV, I'm Erin Lowry.
The Glee-inspired flash mob will be available to alumni and the public through online video platforms in late March. With the winter months far from over, students need to be taking precautions to avoid the danger cold can bring. SBU TV's Brittany Whalley reports.
Button up, St. Bonaventure. With the frequent occurrence of frigid temperatures and snowfall, dressing warm before going outside should be a #1 priority. Prolonged cold exposure can damage the skin and tissues of the body's extremities.
You can get significant tissue injury from cold above freezing, but it is not frostbite. Trench foot, immersion foot, chilblains, also known as hernia, and frostnip are all versions of cold injury short of actually freezing things. Frostbite is frozen tissue. I mean, it is when part of your body freezes, like an ice cube.
The stages of frostbite are similar to those of burns. It is split into 2 main divisions. In superficial frostbite, you may experience burning, numbness, tingling, itching, or cold sensations in the affected areas. At first, the skin may turn red, and then white or pale. It may feel frozen, but at this stage, the frostbite is reversible. In deep frostbite, there is an initial decrease in sensation that is eventually completely lost. Swelling and blood-filled blisters sprout over the white or yellowish skin. Your skin will turn purple, then black, and harden as the tissue dies.
There is no time limit or set temperature for the cold to cause severe damage to one's body. Individuals who are most susceptible to frostbite are those who are mentally exhausted or under the influence of drugs or alcohol.
The best way to protect yourself is simple.
Do what your mother said. Wear your coat, wear your hat, wear your gloves, wear your boots, and if it's really cold, and particularly if it's cold and windy, take a scarf.
Remembering to stay layered, I'm Brittany Whalley for SBU TV.
If you feel you have frostbite, contact emergency personnel immediately. Rubbing your skin in snow or ice will only cause further damage.
The St. Bonaventure hip hop team is making their presence known on a different level.
Jacqueline Haskell started the hip hop team second semester of her freshman year in 2009 with only about 10 girls on the team.
And they were performing in the courtyard between Rob and Fail, and that was like they only had one performance like all year.
However, within only one semester, the team grew and improved.
We stepped it up and we got to perform at like plenty of games, and we had, I want to say, 2 or 3 shows. So that was like concrete for like establishing the team, like saying like, yes, we can perform at games, and yes, we like can do other stuff just than hip hop. Like we have all different types of dancing too.
It's not all work and no play though.
I really like how we can have fun at practices, even though we usually get stuff done, but we all laugh and we have fun.
The team deserves some fun after all the hardships they went through though.
When the team started, they had problems getting practice time and space, but they didn't let that bring them down.
We have a lot more performance opportunities than we used to, and now we have more of a fan base from that, because before we didn't really, no one knew who we were, and it was kind of like, who's the hip hop team, what are they doing?
And what they're doing is going to their first competition ever as a team.
We're doing 2 dances, we're doing Whip My Hair, and we're doing Bad Romance from our Halloween performance.
Competitions are just a good way to like put your name out there and get critiqued by other people.
The members of the team are always trying to improve their skills and do the next big thing. And this year, it's competing.
I'm excited to show what we have and hopefully to shock the judges.
For Sbu TV, I'm Megan Sudore.
The competition starts at 8 a.m. Sunday, February 13th at Southwestern High School in Jamestown. Coming up in sports, the men's basketball team goes down to the wire against Duquesne.
Get up, stand up, jump on my sister, don't give up the fight. We never give up the fight. You got to let them know how. Never give up the fight. Oh, get up, stand up, what we gonna do? Stand up for a ride. Get up, stand up, oh yeah, don't give up the fight.
I'm Joe Landers with sports. The Duquesne Dukes men's basketball team traveled to the Riley Center with an 8-0 record in conference play February 5th. After an intense 39-plus minutes of action, St. Bonaventure emerged with a thrilling last-second victory. Tony Jones has the story.
St. Bonaventure's 64-62 win over Duquesne was filled with drama, but also with strategy. Junior guard Michael Davenport explains the final play that led to the victory.
To get the ball back to Ogo, to put him in a situation where he could be in the open court, and make a play. Either get all the way to the basket or get someone to commit, and kick it to an open guy. But as you can tell, it didn't work out that way. There was no nervousness, it was just, 9 seconds is a long time, but it was just sticking to the plan that he drew up.
We pulled it out at the end. We finished, and we've had some trouble finishing in the Atlantic 10. We made that shot because of all the time we put in the gym. Don't forget what got you there. And don't forget, you're going to continue to work so you can make those shots in the future.
Both Schmidt and Davenport acknowledged that the win would not have been possible without key contributions from other players, including freshman guard Matthew Wright.
He's getting much more comfortable with what's expected. More comfortable. The game's slowing down for him a little bit. Hit a big shot. I'm not sure if he planned that one off the backboard, but he's playing with a lot more confidence, and that's why he's playing well.
They got us a nice little lead, to what we was doing, and it led to, the shot at the end. So it was just a nice team effort.
For all the excitement the shot and the ensuing celebration caused, Davenport and his teammates are already moving forward.
It was good to get that win, but now we got to move on. That's the goal at hand now. That was good, to dwell on for the 2 days that we got off. And now it's just back to the drawing board.
In a season that's seen its share of wins and losses, Schmidt acknowledged that beating the top team in the Atlantic 10 at home was a big step forward for his program, but maintains there are bigger goals at hand, including once more reaching the conference tournament in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Reporting from the newsroom, I'm Tony Jones for SBU TV Sports.
Last Saturday, St. Bonaventure's dramatic defeat of Duquesne ended up on ESPN.
Thousands watched Michael Davenport's game-winning three sink in live right here in the Riley Center. Tens of thousands watched it happen online, and millions saw it replay on ESPN. How did a game not nationally televised make it from the Riley Center to every single cable home in the United States? A lot of behind-the-scenes work, which all began right here with Davenport's three.
Mike Coliani was the camera operator who captured the game-winning shot from high up in the Riley Center.
I just knew that I'm not the only person who's watching the game, that there are people on the internet that need to know what's going on, and that I'm the one who has to, deliver that to them, and so it's my responsibility to capture that moment.
All of the game's camera angles are recorded here in SBU TV's tape or replay room.
We had all 4 machines in record, paying attention to what was going on, watching, trying to get the best angle on it.
As soon as the buzzer hit and students stormed the court, St. Bonaventure Athletics Sports Information Director Dallas Miller knew he would need student-produced highlights of this amazing game.
I knew once the game was over that we had the opportunity to get on ESPN.
Next, SBU TV's technical director Kevin Clark brought the game tape back here to the Coop Lab, where he began cutting highlights.
Dave and I came back to the lab a little after 9 o'clock. We just picked a few plays down the stretch that made a difference in the game and put them on an MOV file, exported them to a flash drive, and ran them over the RC and gave them to Dallas.
Then Dallas Miller brought Kevin Clark's cut highlights back here to his office, where he uploaded them to an ESPN server.
I said, just let me know if it's going to be on or what programs it's going to run on. He said it'll be on College Basketball Final, and that's when I tweeted, ESPN confirms, Bonnie's will be on College Basketball Final starting at 12.
Finally, around 1 a.m., ESPN's College Basketball Final aired SBU TV's highlights of Michael Davenport's game-winning shot.
The Atlantic 10 ending the Duke's 11-game win streak. Duquesne now 16-6. He's a transit property.
This is the second time highlights from St. Bonaventure basketball has made it to ESPN this season. In December, the Bonnies' 4-overtime win was shown on SportsCenter's Top Plays. The St. Bonaventure women's lacrosse team is preparing to open the season this Sunday at Bucknell University. The team has made some changes to the way it practices and has high expectations for this season. SBU TV's Conor Mooney reports.
After a long off-season, the St. Bonaventure women's lacrosse team prepares for their first game of the season this Sunday at Bucknell University. Last season, the team finished 7-9 overall and 2-5 in conference play.
I think we're placed 8th right now. It's not that it doesn't mean anything to us, but I think it motivates us.
This year, the team has higher expectations.
Number 1, of course. Hopefully we'll get to the A10 championship this year, but we'll just have to see.
To help reach these goals, the team has made some changes to its practice schedule.
Last year we used to get up around 6:30. Now it's about an hour earlier.
Although the team plans on playing its first few home games right here at SBU's campus, winter weather may have other plans. What do you guys do if there's snow on the field?
Go to Alfred.
Oh, okay. Does that happen a lot?
Yeah.
Once the snow melts, the Bonnies will be right back on their home turf, playing for that number 1 spot. For SBU TV, I'm Conor Mooney.
The team plays its first home game on March 6th against Niagara at 12 o'clock. A college baseball player has a special bond with his coach that none of his teammates share. They both are recovering from kidney transplant surgery in an Atlanta hospital. Wakeforest University coach Tom Walter helped save the freshman outfielder's life and as many as 20 hours a day of dialysis. CNN's Greg Black has more on the unique situation that brought them together forever.
You getting anybody to sign this thing?
In the baseball statistics column, you'll see the word save, but that word takes on a whole new meaning for this college coach and one of his players. On Monday, Wake Forest University head baseball coach Tom Walter donated a kidney to outfielder Kevin Jordan.
I'm guessing you feel a little better. I feel a ton better.
Walter recruited Jordan just last year. There were high hopes for the freshman standout from Columbus, Georgia.
All the players checking in with you?
But Jordan got sick before he even stepped on campus. He was diagnosed with an immune system disease that attacked his kidneys. His rare blood type of O negative made it tough to find a match.
We tried about all the people that we knew as donors. And
that's when Coach Walter stepped up to the plate.
Coach came up clutch. He came through and his was a match. My dad's gonna bring.
Now both coach and player look forward to the time they'll be able to step onto the field together.
8 weeks swinging a bat. Don't do too much before that. I know your dad's been on you about it. I feel better already, even though the soreness
Jordan's condition forced him to leave school, but he plans to return to the team in time for next season. As for the coach,
I would do it again 1,000 times out of 1,000.
Just thankful and happy.
In Atlanta, I'm Greg Black reporting.
Both player and coach will talk about the surgery in a conference this week. Doctors say with special medication, Jordan should have no problem getting back in baseball shape. As for Coach Walter, he plans to coach the Demon Deacons in their first game of the season, February 18th. That's all for this week. For Sbu TV, I'm Joe Landers.
I'm Megan Sudore.
And I'm Shannon Shepherd. For the rest of us here in the Coop Lab, thanks for watching.